Derivative of trigonometric functions. So, dito sa lesson na to, you have to recall all the trigonometric identities like yung reciprocal, yung sum indifference, yung squared, and also you have to integrate that into the differentiation rules. Yung ating constant rule, we have our sum and difference rule, product and quotient, and etc. So, for instance, if u is a differentiable function of x, then the following are differentiation formulas of the trigonometric functions. So, ito lang yung mga tatandaan ninyo. The derivative of sine u is equals to cosine of u, derivative of u in terms of x. Okay? Next, the derivative of cosine u is equals to, in this case, that is negative sine u du over dx. However, the derivative of tan u is equals to secant squared u, derivative of u in terms of x. And then, the derivative of cotangent u is equals to negative cosecant squared u, derivative of u in terms of x. The derivative of secant u is equals to secant u tangent u, derivative of u in terms of x. And lastly, the derivative of cosecant u is equals to negative cotangent u, cosecant u, du over dx. So, ito lang yung mga formula na kailangan yung tandaan. So, in these differentiation formulas of trigonometric function, you can obtain also yung tan u, cotangent u, secant u, and cosecant u. Given lang yung ating sine and cosine u, kasi yung ating cosine u tsaka yung sine u, yun yung ating pinaka parang foundation ng trigo function. And yung the rest, pwede mo na siyang ma-obtain using that. So, by example, makikita natin kung paano natin i-apply yung ating differentiation of trigonometric functions or yung ating trigo function sa ating derivative. So, example, g of x is equals to 4 secant t plus tangent t. Okay, so in this case, hanapin natin yung derivative niya. Pero di ba yan yun ay sum rule siya. Kung sa differentiation rule, magpo-fall siya dun sa sum rule kasi we have that two terms na positive naman yung nasa gitna. So that is sum rule. However, yung ating secant, di ba yung secant u is equals to secant u times tan u. So in this case, yung ating g prime of x is equals to 4 secant t tan t plus yung tangent naman, yung derivative niya, di ba, sa ating differentiation of trigonometric function is equals to secant squared t. So, eto lang yung ating gagawin dyan. You just have follow the rules. Next example. Next, how about y is equals to 1 plus sine of x over x plus cosine of x. So, remember yung ating quotient rule. Sa ating quotient rule, we have the derivative of u over b is equals to v du over x or v times the derivative of u in terms of x minus u derivative of v in terms of x all over v squared. So, ito yung ating quotient rule. Maalala nyo yan doon sa ating differentiation rule. Diba? So, ito lang din yung gagamitin natin. But with integration of the differentiation of trigonometric function na. So, in this case, erase ko muna. Pwede natin ipagpalagay na yung ating u dito ay ito nasa taas at yung ating v is yung nasa baba. So, in this case, y prime is equals to yung ating v, x plus cosine of x times 1 plus sine of x. Ito, i-differentiate natin to kasi du over dx yun, di ba? So, lagyan ko muna ng prime kasi hindi ko pa siya na-differentiate eh. Minus, kapil mo lang yung u, 1 plus sine of x. Tapos yung v natin, i-differentiate din natin yan. X plus cosine of x. Lagyan ko ng hyphen para ma-differentiate natin siya. All over quantity, x plus cosine of x squared. Ito yung v squared, di ba? Then, by that, pwede na natin siyang i-differentiate. So, copy mo lang, y prime is equals to x plus cosine of x. Then, yung ating derivative of 1 is 0. Tapos, yung derivative ng sine x naman is cosine x. So, this would be cosine x. Minus, copy mo lang itong u, 1 plus sine of x. Tapos, i-differentiate natin yan. Derivative of x is 1. Okay? So, this is 1. Derivative of cosine x is negative sine x all over x plus cosine x squared. So, in this case, pwede na natin gamitin yung ating distributive property, di ba? Kasi you can multiply this term. So, ang mangyayari, that is equals to x cosine of x plus cosine squared x. Okay? Minus, dito naman, remember naman yung ating 1 plus sine of x times 1 minus sine of x is just also equals to 1 minus sine squared x. Diba? Okay, so over x plus cosine of x squared. Then after that, pwede mong pang i-simplify yan by arranging or by following the sign. So, this would come x cosine of x plus cosine squared x minus 1. Negative times negative is positive. Sine squared x over x plus cosine of x raised to 2. Okay? So, ngayon, may naalala ba kayo? Di ba meron tayo sa trigonometric identity natin na yung ating sine squared plus cosine squared is equals to 1. And meron tayo niyan dito. Meron tayong cosine squared x at saka sine squared x. So, kapag nag-simplify tayo niyan using that rule, so this would become y prime is equals to x cosine of x. Sabi ko kanina, yung cosine squared, mawawala na yan. Minus 1 plus 1. Saan galing yung 1? Yung positive 1 is galing siya sa cosine squared x plus sine squared x. All over x plus cosine of x squared. Or simply, kaya pa ba ng paper? So, this is equals to, ito, cancel yan negative 1 plus 1, di ba? So, this would equals to x cosine of x over the quantity x plus cosine x squared. So, ito na yung ating solution for that derivative niyan. Next example, function of x is equals to 2 sine of 3x. So, yung ating f prime of x or yung ating derivative for that is equals to 2. Tapos, yung sine 3x is cosine 3x. However, di ba yung 3x, we just, meron pa tayong, pwede na pa natin siyang i-derivative or differentiate. That is equals to 3. So, by simplifying, this would equals to 6 cosine of 3x. Okay. Another example. Ito, nandyan naman yan sa module nyo. So, example, g of x is equals to e raised to sine square root of x. Ayan. So, ito yung nandyan sa module natin na example. So, naalala nyo pa yan. Yan yung rule number 8 yata, I think, sa module natin. Yan yung d over x or derivative of square root of u is equals to du over dx over 2 times square root of u. Di ba yan yung ating nasa rule number 8? So, ito yan. So, pwede natin gamitin yan kasi we have radical. Okay? So, in this case, yung ating g prime x or yung ating derivative is equals to e sine of square root of x, yung ating exponent, and then derivative of sine square root of x. Okay? Simplifying equation, that is equals to e raised to sine square root of x. Derivative nito is cosine of x, di ba? Over 2 square root of x. Kasi yun yung natin, rule number 8 natin, di ba? Merong sa baba 2 square root of u, di ba? Ito 2 square root of x din siya. Now, we can simplify this by multiply natin siya into 1. So, anong 1 yung gagamitin natin para ma-eliminate natin yung radical sa baba? So, that is square root of x over square root of x. Simply, this is just equals to 1. Okay, so wala naman mababago. Eliminate lang natin yung kanyang radical. So, simply, ang mangyayari, that is equals to square root of x e sine of square root of x cosine of square root of x over 2. So, ito yung ating nandyan sa module nyo. So, ito yung ating derivative of that. Another example, y is equals to 3 sine of x minus 4 cosine of x. So, the derivative of that is equals to 3 cosine of x minus 4 times the quantity negative sine of x. Simplifying rather the equation, that is equals to y prime or derivative of y is equals to 3 cosine of x negative 4 times negative sine x is positive 4 sine of x. Next, so how about this one? Function of x is equals to cosine x over 1 plus sine of x. Ito na naman tayo. Ito na naman is quotient rule, di ba? So, yung ating derivative of that, f prime x is equals to yung ating u or v, di ba? Rather v. Yung nasa denominator natin is v. Say, instance, if u, v. Okay? So, b du. Okay? So, that is equals to 1 plus sine of x times, gusto natin i-directa na lang natin, no? Yung ating derivative of cosine of x is equals to negative sine of x minus cosine of x. Tapos yung derivative ng ating denominator is equals to cosine of x. Okay, over 1 plus sine of x squared. Okay. Then, simplifying equation, this would equals to negative sine x, distributive property ulit, minus sine squared x, and then minus cosine squared x over 1 plus sine x squared. So, in this case, pwede na naman natin gamitin yung sine squared plus cosine squared is equals to 1. Okay? Kasi, pag nag-simplify tayo, pwede natin siyang ilabas yung mga negative sign at magkakaroon tayo ng positive sign in between of sine and cosine squared. So this would equals to negative sine x minus quantity sine squared x plus cosine squared x over 1 plus sine of x raised to 2. Ngayon, di ba ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, ito, pwede natin itong gawin is equals to 1. So, this would equals to negative sine x minus 1 over 1 plus sine of x squared. Or by simplifying equation, that is equals to negative 1 plus sine of x over 1 plus sine of x squared. Okay? Di ba itong 1 plus sine of x squared, pwede naman siyang gawing quantity 1 plus sine x times 1 plus sine x. So, ngayon, pwede natin itong i-cancel. May matitira ditong isa na 1 plus sine x sa baba. So, this would equals to negative 1 over 1 plus sine x. Last example natin for this topic. Y is equals to sine squared x over cosine squared x. Ngayon, pwede natin itong i-rewrite muna, no? So, by rewriting this one, pwede natin sabihin that is equals to sine of x over cosine of x squared. Or simply that is equals to sine of x cosine of x raised to 2. And that is equals to tangent of x squared. Di ba yung tan x squared, pwede naman natin siyang i-split into tan of x times tan of x. Okay? Ngayon, ito, pwede na natin siyang i-derivative. So, that is y prime is equals to tangent of x times the derivative of tan x, that is equals to secant squared x plus secant squared x tan x. Kasi same lang naman siya, tan x naman, diba? So, simplify further the equation. This will give us y prime is equals to 2 secant squared x tan of x. So, I hope na yung ating module, pwede nyo naman na siyang gawin. Answer nyo na yung module activity natin in this topic. And then, after that, siguro by first week of February, mag-conduct na tayo ng final exam. Kasi we have to wait for those students na wala pang mga modules or may missing modules. And meron pa kasi hindi nag-exam. So, the rest of the time, we will use that for completion of some students na merong mga deficiencies. Okay, thank you.